What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and Congress is back. They are at it, and they're working away as quickly as they can to try to get done with everything on their to-do list before the end of the year, including a stimulus reconciliation bill. And this is your stimulus and infrastructure bill update. Now, stick with me throughout the entirety of this video. I'm going to be covering everything on their to-do list, when they're likely saying they're going to have this done, the deadlines, and the process of negotiations currently underway. Now, I've got some video footage for you that's going to be getting you caught up on everything that came out today, and we're seeing articles coming out like this. Take a look. Congress returns to work, staring down fiscal deadlines and fights over Biden's agenda. Lawmakers must act to avert a shutdown and the debt ceiling deadline as Democrats plan to push ahead on budget talks and the stimulus reconciliation bill. Here's another one. Congress returns to tight deadlines on government funding, Biden's agenda, and more. And as you know, there's about $1.7 trillion worth of stimulus provisions included in the bill. Now, currently not included is a fourth federal level stimulus check. However, if you missed my video from earlier today, you might want to check it out, as we're hearing that Americans are now pressuring Biden and Congress more with the Omicron variant on the move here in North America, saying, hey, we might need some more checks and stimulus provisions to help us through as we're still battling the pandemic. And also, state stimulus checks. As you know, $350 billion was allocated in the last stimulus package to go to states. And finally, states and cities, counties, they're starting to take the money past their own stimulus packages, some of which have stimulus checks for lucky eligible residents in their states, cities, or counties. Now, if you missed those, be sure to check them out right after this video as well. And also, we have heard that this new variant is spreading. And if you missed the update, today, President Joe Biden came out and he had an announcement for us as to what's going to be unfolding. And I did a video for you. Check it out right after this one as well. But you guys, let's dive into the video footage and get you caught up on where Congress currently stands with negotiations for raising the debt ceiling, avoiding a government shutdown, and also passing a stimulus reconciliation bill. Oh, and just very quickly, wanted to say thank you so much for all the support on the second channel, Steve Ram Finance. And if you're somebody that's interested in growing wealth or learning about personal finance, consider joining that channel as well. I will pin a comment down below. Click the link, go subscribe, turn on notifications. And we're hearing that it's times like these, when things are at their worst, that the most millionaires are made as people change their life financially when they decide to seize opportunity and learn more about personal finance. So we're going to be launching that channel closer towards the end of the year. Really excited about it, you guys. But let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on the latest. And first, do me a quick favor, really quickly, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton, just takes a second. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here, you can come join and stay up to date, totally free. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. You can come join the Ram fam, the viewing community. I'll keep you up to date. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is shoot me a DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Best way to get a hold of me by far. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right into this video footage, get you caught up on the latest that's happening right now with Congress, their to-do list, and when they're saying they're going to have this all wrapped up and done by. Let's go ahead and dive right in.
Every year, it seems, after the turkey gets carved and the lights go up, Congress faces a crucial deadline to get something done. This year's calendar, however, seems especially chaotic, with the pending votes having a real impact on your family. Big issue number one, the final vote on the Build Back Better bill. Senate leaders have said they want the spending bill voted on before Christmas. That just leaves a couple weeks or so to get it passed. What's at stake? New limits on out-of-pocket child care costs, a child tax credit extension, universal pre-K funding, Medicare, hearing coverage, and incentives to protect the environment. It's still unclear if the Senate will be able to pass this. Every Democrat will need to be on board, since every Republican is expected to vote no. Currently, not every Democrat supports the bill that the House passed in mid-November. Big issue number two, funding for the federal government. It runs out on December 3rd. For the moment, though, no one on Capitol Hill is talking about a government shutdown. A short-term deal seems likely. And big issue number three, the country is set to reach the debt limit again on December 15th. A default could impact everything from military pay to Social Security checks. We do expect the Treasury Department to announce they're capable of paying the nation's bills for a limited period of time after the 15th, but it's unclear how much longer, and Republican opposition to raising it continues. It's possible Democrats raise the debt limit in their Build Back Better bill to avoid the debate.
So there you have it, you guys. Those are the 3 current pending agenda items that Congress has to work through. And now let's take a look at an update that came out today, letting us know the status of where things currently stand with those items. Let's take a look.
19 past the hour now to Capitol Hill, where Congress returns to work today with a lot to deal with in the next couple of weeks. The top priority for lawmakers to make sure the government doesn't shut down when funding expires on Friday. Congress also has to approve a defense policy bill and potentially raise the debt limit. The Senate needs to deal with executive and judicial nominations and try to pass a nearly $2 trillion bill aimed at reshaping the social safety net and fighting climate change. With me now, NBC News national political reporter Sahil Kapoor on Capitol Hill, and Yamiche Alcindor, White House correspondent for the PBS NewsHour and moderator of Washington Week on PBS. She is also an MSNBC political analyst. Good morning. And Sahil, the most pressing item on the agenda is keeping the government open. What is the likelihood of a shutdown at the end of this week?
A government shutdown is unlikely, Jose. Neither party really has much of an appetite, much of a desire for it, and neither side has drawn the kind of red lines that have led to a government shutdown in the past. Now, the issue is Democrats are eager for a full-year government funding and appropriations deal. They complain that the government is still functioning at levels previously agreed to in the Trump administration, and they argue that Republicans have not shown the same level of urgency to cut a new deal in the Biden era. But are they going to force a government shutdown to push that? That seems highly unlikely. The most likely situation is that they punt this into January with another stopgap bill, likely toward the end of January, and keep the government funded at existing levels and give themselves a little more time to do it. Now, they could fall backwards into a government shutdown if they don't move quickly, if they don't move in the next day or two, because if you get to Wednesday or Thursday, a single senator objecting could push this past the Friday deadline. It's known to happen. It's been known to happen in the past.
And Sahil, meanwhile, Senator Schumer says he wants the Senate to pass the Build Back Better Act by Christmas. Is there a lot of confidence in that timeline?
Confidence, yes. Is there certainty in that timeline? Absolutely not, because they have a lot to do before then, and Democrats are getting to work on this. Now, the first thing they have to do is amend the House-passed Build Back Better Act, that $1.7 trillion bill, to make sure that there are 50 votes in the Senate. That is likely to mean changes to provisions like guaranteed paid leave, as well as the state and local tax deduction. The next thing they have to do is to make sure everything complies with the rules. Some provisions, most notably immigration, are at risk of running afoul of what's known as the Byrd Rule, making sure everything is a matter of taxes and spending. And finally, after that, they're going to have to go through this vote-a-rama process where Republicans can offer unlimited amendments. They're going to try to remove some parts of the bill. They're going to try to edit some parts of the bill. And Democrats have a very challenging task of keeping all 50 of their senators in line to defeat poison pill amendments that could disrupt this deal. It's going to be a monumental task for Senator Chuck Schumer. But, Jose, there is a strong, strong desire among Democratic leaders not to punt this into the new year, because once the year changes from 2021 to 2022, midterm jitters creep in, people can go home for the holidays. President Biden's popularity is worrying some Democratic lawmakers. They're desperate to get this done by the end of the year.
So there you have it, you guys. They are desperate to get this done before the end of the year, as they don't want to go into midterm elections for 2022 not having things done. And they said the approval rating of President Joe Biden is already not looking very good. So they're saying they want to make sure they can get everybody on board and get this passed through. But they have quite a bit to do, as we heard him say, with the increasing of the debt ceiling, avoiding a government shutdown, and also trying to pass through this stimulus reconciliation bill that has to get passed and agreed upon in the Senate, go back to the House of Representatives when it has its modifications, and then get pushed through again and go to the president. So quite a bit to stay up on. But you guys, whatever unfolds, I will keep you up to date here on the channel, so that way you know what's going on. And as always, thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. And if you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash that like button for the algorithm. Helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to stay up to date. Totally free. And if you'd like to learn about personal finance, consider joining that second channel, Steve Ram Finance. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a blessed evening. I will catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.